What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet, and I am black up in your face again with some more pro black commentary. So, I saw this quote kind of floating around on social media, and I have to address it because it fits with my theme of black people being very negative towards themselves and sort of internalizing the negativity and kind of just spitting it back out onto other black people. And also, it speaks to black people being a little bit overly emotional about certain things to the point where their response to it or their what they say about it or their reaction makes absolutely no sense. And what I'm talking about is, this quote right here that says, and I'll read it for you right here. It says, niggas quick to say, yo, bro, don't eat that. It got pork in it. But won't say, yo, bro, don't shoot the park up. It got kids in it. And I saw a lot of black people posting this, and they were, posting it up and acting as if they were saying something or posting something that was profound, right? Like they were really speaking the truth when they posted this. And, I saw a lot of people like responding to it and giving it the thumbs up and saying right on. I was like, wow, you're right. Black people don't do that. And it's kind of silly because when you get past the emotion part of it and start to think logically, you'll see how much this quote not only does it make no sense whatsoever, but it's kind of stupid and kind of silly when you actually sit and think about it. But that's the thing, like a lot of us don't actually sit and think. We're more tied into the emotion of it. See, because a actual shooting in a park or any type of shooting really in a black neighborhood is a very emotional situation. That's terrible, right? That's something horrible, especially if innocents are shot. So like if an innocent person or an innocent older person or an innocent child is shot in a park while they're supposed to be having fun, that's that's very hurtful for the black community. So I understand that. I totally understand the emotion behind that. I totally understand the pain that causes, right? However, when you actually sit and think about, like, let me just ask you, when do you have conversations with people that shoot up playgrounds, right? When do you ever actually sit and talk with someone who would commit such a heinous act? Most black people don't. Most human beings don't. Okay? Most black people never talk to anybody who commits acts of violence like this, right? No matter what they might say about black criminality, not all black people are criminals. Not all black people have this knowledge of people committing criminal acts like this, like just outward murder, right? So, like, I don't know anyone who would do that. I don't know anyone who would specifically say, "Hey, I'm gonna go shoot up the park today," or I'm gonna go shoot Ray Ray, and if anyone gets caught in the crossfire, so be it. If I kill some kids, whatever, right? Like Old Dog said in that movie Menace to Society, where he said he's gonna shoot who's ever out there. He doesn't care who's out there, right? Like who has conversations like that? I don't. The only time I've ever seen that is in a movie. I've never hung out with my black friends, my black male friends, my black female friends, my black elders, black children. Never hung out with any of them where they just, said, I'm going to go shoot up somebody or shoot up the park, and who's ever out there that catches a stray bullet, so be it. Never happened. Never even been around someone that said, I'm going to go shoot up a park. In fact, the only person I've ever been around in my entire life that claimed that he had a gun and that he would use it is an older white male. Okay, I remember I worked at this restaurant back in the day when I was in college, and there was this Italian white male there. He said like he didn't have a car, so he walked home after work, and if anyone bothered him after work, he was gonna blow their head off, and he pulled his shirt up and showed me his pistol. That's the only person I ever seen do that, right? So, when people post these things where they say, black people, they'll tell you not to eat pork, but why don't they tell black people not to shoot each other? It goes along with that whole ridiculous conservative narrative that they push, where they say when a black cop or no, when a cop shoots a black child, black people protest or black people get upset. But when a black person shoots a black child, no one says anything. That's also completely wrong. Okay, because this feeds into that whole narrative that black people are not upset about black crime, right? Which is nonsense. Black people are always upset about any type of crime or any type of injustice that takes place around us. All right? It's just that it's not publicized. I talk about this all the time when, people talk about black people don't care about black on black crime, quote unquote. I don't like that term. I don't believe in it. There's no such thing to me as a black on black crime. Yes, black people commit crimes amongst each other, but unless we're going to start categorizing other people as having interracial crime, then I'm not going to start saying black on black crime, because we're the only racial group that's saddlebagged with that term. Okay? Black people need to be careful with this whole idea of making it seem as if black people don't care when a black person kills another black person. That's nonsense. Okay? And if you go to any major city in America where there is black violence, there are black people working within the community to stop that violence. There are actual marches against violence, against gun violence. There are special groups within these black communities formed by the black community that organize and try to stop gun violence. There are black people that actually go door to door or just do like community rallies where they talk to different people. They'll even go talk to the gangs about reducing the gun violence. Okay? But once again, these organizations are not publicized. These things are not publicized. I can almost guarantee you, whatever major city you're talking about, there are black people who work against gun violence, but you don't hear about them. Okay? The news is not in their face when they're doing something. And a lot of these conservative goofies, they don't contribute to any of these places either. They won't go to the hood and find these organizations and promote them. They won't talk to them. They won't even go and find like a link or something like that. They'll never show up to like a end the gun violence rally. They talk all this nonsense about black crime, but you'll never see someone like Candace Owens or Brandon Tatum at any of these rallies to work against that type of violence. So like they only say that trash because it demonizes black people. And this is why you have to be careful of quotes like this. Because that's all it's doing is demonizing black people. A lot of black people don't realize it, that they're actually demonizing their own selves when they do this. They think they're being smart or they think they're being profound. Like, once again, if you just sit back and think about this logically, when in the hell do you sit and talk with someone who would commit this type of this heinous act? I know I don't. I know you don't. Okay, because the majority of black people don't do stuff like this, right? So you folks can let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. I'd like to hear what you have to say about this ridiculous quote here. And black people, once again, the only thing I'll say in conclusion is please be careful with the stuff that you post, because sometimes it's a lot of nonsense and it's very self-deprecating. Like you just like basically just like shitting on yourself and black people in general, where you're trying to make it seem as if we are just inherently criminal or inherently violent, basically reinforcing all the stereotypes that white supremacy has about us, and thinking that, oh, woe is me, we so bad, what is wrong with us? I get so tired of seeing black people do that, where We just automatically down ourselves and we start seeing ourselves through the lens of white supremacy. Anyway, folks, you let me know what you think in the comments. This is Mad Black, and I will be back with my foot on the devil's back.